Hello, my crafty friends. I'm back today with another one of Karen Burniston's new releases. So this card is larger than A2. It's a card set and matching envelope that I got at Michael's, and folded. The card is 5 inches by 6.5 inches. On the front, I used Karen Burniston's new pattern plate fronds, and it is sized to fit perfectly on an A2 card, but I actually really like how well they work with an even border on larger cards as well. I cut it out of a green patterned paper and adhered it to white cardstock, and then used dye inks and a water brush to loosely watercolor in the leaves. The sweet little scallop label and the rectangle below it is from the Pop and Swap, which is another new die set that I have not played too much with yet, other than I use the accessory dies. So just because it comes in a set, don't think you can only use them in that particular card. I like to say that all the dies by Karen Burniston play so nicely together. And you can see this is where I also got the heart. And I will be using that little scalloped frame a lot. It's a good size. I just penned the thinking of you with a black marker, and inside I used the Oval Frames pop-up, which is not a new die release. It's an older one, but I thought it was fun to get it out and show you again how old dies work with new dies and how they all work together seamlessly, and often new dies will breathe new life into some of the older product that you've had. Like this pattern paper I've had forever in my stash. I used the Gnome and Santa die, which is part of the new release. And then the fairy, look how cute the fairy is. That is from the new backyard charms. And then if you can see inside, there is a snail and a layered mushroom, which is also included in the backyard charms. I used the Love, which is from the Pop and Swap, and from the Garden, which is from her older garden charms. Now this scallopy decoration across the top, for that I used this part of the purse pop-up. So it's the flap on the purse. But I wanted something to span the top, and it worked perfectly. And then you may recognize this little scalloped here. It is actually the frame, the scallop frame from the Pop and Swap. I just cut just the frame, trimmed it off, layered it. You can see, if you look closely, there is a little seam there. An oval, a heart, and I thought this is just a fun card to send to someone. It does fold up fairly flat. I might add an extra stamp. I don't know. I guess it's, for me, it will depend on which post office I go to mail it. And then on the back, I have my stamp from Riley and Company. Now this card can be done two ways. Rather, the Oval Frames pop-up can be done two ways. Here you can see it drops down. You can also flip the mechanism so when you put it in the card, it pops up, and that is actually what I intended on doing for my card today. But I don't know, I decorated it and had it going the wrong way in my head, and when I went to put it in, my only choice then was to either redo the whole thing or have it as a drop down. So a drop down it is. I added acetate to the backs of the ovals so that the fairies can kind of float in the air. If you enjoyed my video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to see more of my interactive cards. And that is it for me today.